What's up guys, my name is Splattercat and welcome back to the next episode of our Don't Starve LP. Where we had left off, honestly we were just kind of looking around the map trying to find some of those final things we needed for advanced crafting before deciding whether we wanted to head off into a different map by going through the Maxwell door or doing the adventure mode and so forth. So I'm down here doing the exact same thing. I've done a bit of running around. You'll take a look that it's day 44 right now, and I have done a lot of running around on my own. Let's take a look at the map, and you'll see that I've uncovered just about everything at this point. Not a whole lot has happened, honestly. It's been pretty uneventful. I almost got killed by a horde of hounds, a horde of slavering hellhounds, but unfortunately, well, actually, fortunately, I managed to survive. I dug up a couple graves, and I got 4 amulets in a row, which I don't know if that's normal or not, but it seems like I've got more respawns than I know what to do with at this point. I've got more bling than a very, very accomplished rapper, so I don't think we have any real death problems on the horizon, but as I've been going around, I have been digging up new berry bushes because I think our berry farm is probably not suitable for what's going on with us right now. We need to expand it out a little bit, and although we may be on our way very shortly, I've noticed that it's just not respawning at the speed I need, and so when we're not getting the speed that we require in order to keep ourselves fed, we've got to go with volume. And so if we can get 20 to 30 of those things to respawn all at the same time, I think we'll be alright. But for now, I'm just kind of exploring, and so welcome back, and I hope that this episode turns out to be eventful. I'm not really sure that it will. All of these things I found, I actually didn't realize that you lose your sanity by digging in graves. Nobody enlightened me to that fact, and so I found that out the hard way. Now, ooh, this is a good thing right here. We're going to watch this combat unfold right here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to, when these guys get killed, these merms or whatever the hell they're called, when they die they drop frog legs and fish, and we want both. Additionally, if they manage to kill off the tentacles, we can get ourselves freebie tentacle spikes like so as well. Oh no, they comboed on me. Jerk. Oh no, Chester, run, Chester. What are you doing? No, Chester. Live, damn you, live. Come with me to safety. What are you doing? And I'm gonna stab that merm in the face because I like revenge. I need my revengeance. Ow. Well, he got revengeance. So we've got back and forth revengeance occurring, but I really, really, really want that tentacle spike, and unfortunately I don't want to get myself killed to get it. There we go. Got it. So run, run, Chester. Stay with me, Chester. Chester really is kind of a liability. He's kind of an idiot, and he doesn't run away nearly soon enough. I kind of wish that he healed a little bit better, but maybe that's part of the charm of the Chester. Who knows? So we got some frog legs, we got a fish. What other things do I have? Let's go ahead and swap out to the tentacle spike. I do have a log vest with me just in case I need to defend myself. We are losing our sanity at a rather, well, insane pace, I guess, if I wanted to be, if I want to attempt to be funny about it. But anyways, we need to figure out a way to get our insanity. God, we are just, this huge swamp biome is just too dangerous with Chester with me, unfortunately. Like, I don't want to risk it with Chester here because that puts him in an enormous amount of risk. So let me see. We've got a backpack too. If I was down here with full like adventuring gear, I don't think we'd have a problem. But what I have noticed is that my insanity is dipping off pretty quickly at this point. I don't know if they've made it so that it accelerates as you stay in the world longer and longer, but I have very much noticed that my insanity is getting harder and harder to keep up. In fact, I've almost depleted most of the flowers in just about every surrounding area in my kind of campsite, and so I may have to make myself a silk hat pretty soon and just kind of rock that while I run around. Keep myself nice and classy so that I'm constantly regenerating my sanity by wearing that. Unfortunately, we're surrounded by a ridiculous amount of swamps, and it's really hampering the exploratory process. I don't really feel healthy nor brave enough to run across a swamp right now, and although we've got a decent weapon, I don't have a spot to leave all of my stuff, and so until we have a spot where we can dump off Chester for a little bit and leave him with a bunch of our other goods, I'm just going to kind of circle around them for the moment and try and keep ourselves out of trouble. Other interesting things that happened while I ran around, there were spider queens. There's one right there. I ended up killing one. Is that fighting with a tentacle? Let me see here. I don't think it is. If it was, though, that would be worth keeping an eye on. I did kill a spider queen, so we have a spider hat at the moment, which may be helpful. As far as I know, I think the spider hat makes it so that nothing that's spider-like attacks you, and that's fine, because I've gotten tired of boxing with spiders. Boxing with something that has 8 legs has turned out to be a very, very futile enterprise, and so I'm going to grab that gland and then run for it. There we go. And so I can turn that. Let's see how much this heals. Well, we applied it to ourselves. It healed a little bit. That was probably a waste of the gland, but you know, what can you do about it? I'm a little nervous about sprinting across the swamp right here, but we're going to do it. We're going to go for it just in case. That's fine. It looks like there's no tentacles kind of populated around the edges, so that'll work out in our favor. I found a backpack that I left out in the fields with like 20 rabbits in it, and I felt like that might not have been the best humane thing to do, but then I followed that action by strangling them all, so I guess it was just a big old cavalcade of inhumanity going on. But when you gotta eat, you gotta eat. When it comes down to me or them, well, better off them. And plus, I'm a soulless robot. I'm a soulless automaton. Even the login screen said it, so... you know, what are you going to do about that? We're going to go explore these lush green nice areas down here because the swamps don't seem too friendly at the moment. Hopefully we'll run across something useful. We've got a nice food supply. I was worried about food for a bit when we came out of the back end of winter because food was getting oh no. Run, Chester. Oh, please tell me they go to sleep. Oh no. This whole thing is just rowdy because we've got to make a campfire and then we've also got other issues. Let me take a look at my map and see if there's any pigs around here. Oh my. Alright, so we've got ourselves in a major situation right now. So with night coming, we have to get ourselves camped out, unfortunately. Now, I can fight these hounds one by one, but oh my god, they're everywhere. What happened here? There's like dozens of them. And they're winter hounds too, which is increasing. Run, Chester, you moron! Run, you idiot! He's actually beginning to frustrate me here. Run, Chester, come on now. Come on, you can do it! I don't really know when these lose aggro, but we can only hope that it's soon because I'm going to have to make a campfire, and that's going to severely limit my ability to fight with them. Now, it dropped my cursor right there, which is unfortunate. There we go. So we've got a fire now. Chester's going to run as far as he can. I'm going to ditch my backpack and put on the log vest, but we're going to lose Chester. But we're going to use him as a decoy as best as possible. There we go. And so Chester survived. We fought off the hounds. And actually, we got a bunch of hound's teeth, which are going to be useful. I'm actually surprised he was able to take that many hits without going down. Oh, there's the Maxwell door. So we have a decision. Next episode, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I can break off the series for a little while and we can take a break, but I've been running around a lot and I don't see caves anywhere, so I feel like the game has kind of disappointed me in that regard. They said it was going to be backwards compatible in the patch notes, but that appears to have been, if not a lie, then an overstatement because we had a mostly uncleared map and I found no caves anywhere now, clearing most of it, so we do need to find those. I do want to try the cave exploration. Oh good, we've got spiders. As if that wasn't bad enough. So hopefully there's no spider queen around here because if we get ourselves into trouble with the spiders, it's going to get rowdy really quickly. And so we've killed off a couple of them. We will take their glands and use them to heal ourselves because healing's always good. And then I'm actually going to apply those real quick, just like a band-aid. Let's fuel our fire real fast. And then the fire is acting as a decoy. The fire is acting in collaboration with the spiders, who are now just flooding in by the legions. There's got to be like a level 4 hive over here. That or a queen right off the edge of the screen. There's no other reason that so many of their little drones would be running out. Our sanity is getting just ridiculously low, so this may be pretty close to the end anyways for us. It may be worth it just to jump through the Maxwell door, but let me know what you want down in the comments. I'll do whatever you guys vote for. If you want to go through the Maxwell door, we'll check out adventure mode and do some challenges. I'm sure there will be caves on that map. I've been playing a single player alongside this, and so I know that there's tons of new features worth checking out. I'm actually going to gorge myself right now. There we go. And then we'll be on our merry way. Let's go see what was off in this direction. It had to be something impressive. Yeah, very close to a high-level hive. We've pretty much wiped out most of them. Let's check this black area right here for anything. We'll grab some tallbird eggs on the way by as well, and we'll cook those up for our feast in the evening. Chester's pretty beat up. I don't think we have any way to heal him. The rabbits have turned into beardlings, which is a little unfortunate too. Luckily, actually, what I need to do is I need to get the amulets out of Chester. And what we'll do is we'll put the amulets right there. If we get ourselves into serious trouble, I'll chuck an amulet on, and then I think we'll probably be okay. But if you guys know whether the sanity starts to increase quicker once you've been around for a little while, let me know, because it feels like it does. And egg number 1, and then we'll run for it. I could probably actually fight him since I have a log vest, and we could use the meat too. So let me see if I can time this out. It's been a while since I fought one. Oh good, another hound. Another group of hounds, that's even better. Alright, so let's kill this guy off. I don't remember if you can stun lock these. I know you can get at least a couple hits off. Oh, he gets a quick counter blow after that second go. But with the tentacle spike, we should be able... Okay, so we really don't want to do 2 hits on him. That's a pretty piss-poor idea, unfortunately. And so is Chester dead? I'm willing to bet that... Well, he's got to be close. in any case, we can use him as a decoy once again. I don't know what's up with this Chester. This is an extremely resilient Chester. This Chester must be made out of like walnut, or his fur must be made out of like adamantium or something, because frankly, he has taken so much damage right now. I'm really impressed, actually. I'm not even angry. I'm just impressed at how much face time he's had. He definitely doesn't have a glass jaw on him, so he wasn't able to be dropped by tons of hounds just gnawing on his face. So I guess that's a good thing. Is there another tall bird up here? Yeah, let's grab these 2 eggs. We'll grab the one for now. And where's that tall bird at? There he is. I'm going to kill him and take his... Oh, no! I didn't have my log vest on. Oh, my God. Hey, we respawned. That's right, we had the... Oh, nice. Super, super nice. And so we get nightmare fuel. I actually forgot that we even clicked that, so that's good. We're going to have to go down and get our stuff, though. And so let's figure out what we're going to do here. So Chester's down there, along with a backpack and a bunch of loot. We're going to have to, in a certain respect, kind of run backwards until we have defilade here and keep ourselves under the cover. I think we can make it back by nightfall, but we're going to try real hard. The nightmare fuel is going to be useful. Debugging residue, huh? Well, the nightmare fuel is going to be useful because we need nightmare fuel in order to respawn our shadow manipulator, or to create our shadow manipulator. And unfortunately, since we don't have one, there's not a whole lot we can do there. There's some flowers. I'm going to grab those on the way by because we're both wounded and we're going insane. And so the combination of both may end to a very early death. One similar to the one that we just suffered, but I'm really glad that we actually had that monolith or whatever the hell that was that kept us safe. Never used one of those before, and so that worked out mighty fine. But before we go on our adventure to liberate and rescue all of our stuff, we're going to have to re-equip, unfortunately. Now, I do have a large field of grass that's back up and ready to roll, but I should probably grab some stuff on the way back as well, because if I don't, we're not going to have the things we need to build weapons and things of that nature. So we're going to need some tools. We're going to have to chop some trees. We're basically starting from scratch until we can get back down there and rescue our stuff from the tall birds. I wasn't expecting to eat a hit right there, but that was actually very poorly planned on my behalf, and so unfortunately I have egg on my face. I left egg on the ground. There's egg everywhere. Basically, it's an egg-filled situation, although most of it, I feel, is in the face. It's in the region of my cranium. And so let's go ahead, the frontal region of my cranium. Anyways, because, you know, your cranium is quite circular, and so it could be in any number of regions. Egg on the back of your head, not so bad as egg on the front. In fact, some punk rockers use egg whites to make their hair stand up and look awesome. So the positioning of the egg, I think, is some... It's a region of philosophical debate. We are going to need some flint, too. We got some marble out of that, which is pretty killer. I should build a statue of myself. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best use of it, considering we could make a marble suit out of it. I don't know how much marble we need to make the marble suit, but that's really, really amazing armor, and so I may do that. It may nerf our run speed, though. The devs are known for doing tricksy little things like that, so we'll see what happens. But we're back to peg 1 right now until we can grab some tools, so we'll... And not... never mind. Talking about grabbing tools, getting myself all defensive, but anyways, let's grab the flint there. And we'll head back to the west. And honestly, God, so embarrassed right now. Just red in the face. But hopefully we'll make it back to camp before nightfall so that we don't have to chop any trees. Worst case is I'll make a torch. We have all the things we need for a torch right now. Had that happened a little bit closer to evening, I think we would have been in trouble, unless it resets the daytime when you die. But I think we'll be alright. We'll recover. But anyways, we need to decide whether we want to go through the Maxwell door. Now, I have heard that the challenges are pretty difficult through the Maxwell door, so you go up against basically... They're like challenge versions of the map we're in right now, and so we're going to be going up against like Endless Winter, for example, or maps with like very, very limited grass, or maps in which trees die very quickly, just random modifiers to the gameplay that I think add new features. And by the way, you go insane by digging graves now. I hadn't noticed. I hadn't dug a grave in quite some time, and digging the grave got me into trouble. I actually drove myself to ridiculous just kind of... Well, I was scraping rock bottom. In the Insanity Barrel, I was scraping. They were hearing some clank, and so... Oh god, I thought that was turning into one of the tree guards, or I guess I'm getting my terminology mixed up with towns, but the ants, anyways, the living trees, although we do need some living wood to make our shadow manipulator too, so we'll have to dig up some of that at some point. You can't really control when the trees respawn. I know it increases the more trees you chop down in an area. It does increase the chances of them coming back up, and since we've got some daylight left, I'm going to swing out and grab my traps too, because it never hurts to get yourself stocked up on a little bit more food. I don't know when our next winter cycle is going to be on that regard. Winter ended, I think, on day 35, so we have about 9 days, assuming my math is correct. Our summer is kind of coming to an end now, I think. Our daylight around day 40 was down to 1 wedge, but it's back up to 2 wedges now, so we may have to deal with that. Looks like we didn't have much luck trapping, actually. That's a little bit lame, but, you know, I was hoping to come back to 4 bunnies all nicely bundled up and ready for a beating. Just knock the little furry ears off their heads and then nom 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 nom, stuff them into our gullets, but unfortunately we didn't have the option there. Just 2 meats for now. A lot of the food that's down that we were carrying down below may be bad by the time we get back down there, but we are going to attempt the rescue operation in any case. Let me pick all the grass here while we still got some daylight. We are going to have to do some serious gathering. We don't have a lot of flint left over, so I may have to... God, we don't have any flint, and we're going to need a spear. The grass is obviously, but we need an axe too. But I think I've got a fresh axe up by the campfire, or at least partially, like a 20% axe that may help us get a little bit of wood knocked out. Unfortunately, this is a wee bit of a situation, and so I guess we have a question of the night to tackle, but I'll get to it once we get to our darker pie wedges here. But let's grab some twigs. I'm really glad that everything is respawned here. We do have some food back at camp from our farms. Looks like the heat is at its max for now, so we're probably right at the apex of summer, which is going to work to our favor. We need to get ourselves some flint. Where are the nearest stones that I can bash up? There's some right there. Alright, we're going to need a bunch of flint. The only way I could imagine this being a little bit rougher is if it had happened in winter. Now, I am going to grab those. Our honey boxes are not quite there yet. I did find the rest of the mechanics to make a new map, so that is on the horizon. We can do that at some point. Let me chop a tree real fast. We're a little pressed for time, unfortunately, but I think I can get a tree down so we can get a fire going, and then once the fire's going, we can cook up some food, we can survive for the evening, do our question of the night, and God, I'm feeling really pressured right now. And I don't know about you guys, but summer has officially hit. It was like 115 degrees out yesterday. We were like boating around the Delta. I went to visit a family member, not my family, but my significant other's family, and we spent our day boating around the Delta. And it was warm. You would figure sitting on top of water it wouldn't be that bad, but I'm a city kid. I've spent most of my time with concrete underfoot. And so it gets warm out there. It got real warm. Now, those of you who are lucky enough to be up north, see, I recently moved to a place where it doesn't get hot anymore. I decided after a long life of living in a place where it got to 115, 120 every single summer, that I would never again live in a location where it got above 80, because I just cannot stand the heat. I'm not built for it. I don't like it. I hate it, every moment of it. And so I live in a place now where it rarely gets above like the 80-degree Fahrenheit region. I know there's those of you out there that use the Celsius system. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do the 14/9 thing or the 9/14 thing in my head. My math skills are not that good. They are piss poor. And so, alas, I cannot do the Celsius conversion for you. I wish I could, but unfortunately, a lifetime of being drilled with Fahrenheit has left me woefully. I can convert to Kelvin for you. Well, maybe not. You have to have Celsius first to get to Kelvin, I guess, but let's wait for the evening to be over. And I guess our question of the night is the favorite place you've ever vacationed. And I will Google Maps it, I promise. I will look and see how awesome it is. And I will do that street level thing where you can like sit in the middle of a forest and look around. That's great for doing weird stuff. Like I got up in somebody's garage in Norway, which was, you know, probably the complete and total misapplication of how you're supposed to be using Google Maps. But he left his garage open and I was determined to take a look and see what was inside a Norwegian garage. And unsurprisingly, it was more or less the same stuff that you would expect from a garage anywhere. A car, assorted tools. There was a really big wood pile, though, so I guess people in Norway need lots and lots of wood for campfires. It was a impressive wood pile, believe you me. It was a wood pile that puts most wood piles to shame. Like, when I was growing up as a kid, we had a wood pile, but it was not a wood pile of this girth. No, our wood pile was enough to get through like 1 month. Their wood pile was like the size of several large Chryslers stacked top on top on top, and it was impressive. It was impressive. So Norwegians, my hat's off to you. You know how to stockpile wood. And now we've got this stuff done, and we're going to make some ropes. And we need flint. And so let's grab one of these pickaxes, and let's head off to the east. And this was unfortunately not how I thought I was going to spend the episode, but we'll grab every bit of food we can as we run by, because I have no inclination of starving here. If we, you know, it doesn't say don't die, it says don't starve, so we have complete freedom to die as we wish, but starvation, no sir. We will not go out like that. We will not trip that wire. And so let's grab ourselves some flint from here. I don't really care about the nitro. I still have seen no real use for it. I guess once you get the shadow manipulator, maybe it'll be useful for something. Maybe you make gunpowder out of it or something of that nature, but let's get ourselves flint for the time being. and then we will shoot our way back down south to recover our valuables, and we will box the rest of this up like a Christmas present. So there's that. We've got some extra rocks too in case we ever decide to knock out a wall. Unfortunately, our base has gotten so large and cumbersome that surrounding it with a wall seems like it may not be the best plan. What I may do is surround the pig village with a wall, and when hounds are about to show up, I'll line it with traps, and then we'll hide in here and we'll fight them off with the pigs, with our piggy friends. I mean, they're pink-skinned, I'm brown-skinned. It's close enough. It's close enough. You're only a couple like color gradients off, so it'll work. And now that we're back at camp, let me throw some things in a chest here so that we're not carrying ridiculous amounts of stuff with me. Oh, we have an extra spear there. Well, I guess that solves that need. God, should have looked. Should have looked before I went out there to gather up all this flint. But in any case, it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and see what extra supplies I have here. Nothing too impressive. We do have some tall bird eggs, which will help us get fed. We have a lot of glands. We are stocked up on glands, and my guess is that that box is quite stinky, depending on what type of glands those are. But let's throw the nitra. Was it in this chest? I think it was. There we go. So the nitra's in there. We've got that. Let's throw our shadow fuel in here for safekeeping. We're going to throw the marble in here as well. We need to make ourselves a log vest before we go back out on this adventure. And so we're wounded. We're going to eat the rest of these petals. You only get 1 HP per petal, but it'll work for now. And then we need to make ourselves a choppity instrument. And so let's get choppity chopping, and shazowie, we'll get going on that. And once these trees are down, we will have enough logs to make a log vest, and then finally we will go rescue and liberate our stuff from the oppressive fascist tall birds. I like to think of them as fascists if we're gonna go down and fight them. And you know, you gotta personify your enemies. If you don't anthropomorphize the things that you're fighting, I think in the long run you may end up with a lack of motivation. And so for me, I like to think of them as weird, curly, mustached fascists. And so we'll go down and fight them. And I think this should be enough loggage for now. I don't want to end up overly better than bad and good. I want to end up with enough logs, and I'm recycling jokes now. That's how you know I'm at the end of the line. Although when you're talking about logs, the first place anybody goes is Ren and Stimpy. Although that show, going back, like as a kid, you watched Ren and Stimpy, you didn't catch like half the stuff in that show. I went back and watched it a little bit back, and as an adult, that show is, I understand now why my parents were less than enthused about an 8-year-old watching that show. But anyways, we've got enough supplies now to make a log vest, which is exactly what we're gonna do. And there it is, and let's head on our merry way. So yet another episode filled with walking. This is like the Lord of the Rings episode of my Don't Starve LP, just walking everywhere, just beaten foot, which I guess is better than, well, never mind. Never mind. And so I believe our stuff is right about here. It left us a nice little Chester icon, and this is a hell of a walk. And so this may be the best place to break off this episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle. I think that for the time being, I'm going to keep doing a couple days in between each episode, but let me know what you want to do with the Maxwell door. I've been itching to check out caves, and so we may just go do that. We may just abandon this place and see what we can find on the other end, or we may give the series a little break and jump into Jagged Alliance, maybe jump into UFO Enemy Unknown. I'm sorry, XCOM Enemy Unknown, which I managed to procure. Or do a short series on folk tales, which I managed to acquire. And so there's a number of things that we could hit off and replace this with, and I wanted to give you your options. And so I know there's those of you out there who came to me by means of Don't Starve, and so obviously you guys are going to be my vanguard for why Don't Starve should remain on the roster for right now. But bear in mind, I do have loads of other games that we could be checking out. Strategy games, sim games, and so forth. I even have Sims Medieval, which I've never even opened. It's in the Saran wrap. And so I should probably play that at some point, given it's been out forever. But anyways, let me know what you think. This episode's running a little long, so I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody.